very exciting Fun with Captain Starlight live stream. I'm so excited. I'm here with some very cool scientists. We've got the science game here with us. Hello. Thanks for coming. Now, before we get into the very exciting show, everybody that's here in the Starlight Express room and everybody watching at home, I'd first like to pay my respects to the traditional owners and custodians of the land from which we are watching from. We are broadcasting from Wurundjeri country, and maybe let us know in the chat where you are watching from. Maybe you're watching from our Facebook channel, our Planet Starlight channel. If you want to get involved with some of the fun, ask some really cool science questions. While we've got some of the world's best scientists here, jump onto planetstarlight.org.au and send through your questions. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you all the Science Gang. Hello, what is your name?
My name is Professor Noel Edge.
And I am Professor Lexicon.
Welcome to the Starlight Express room. We are so thrilled to have you here. Hello to everybody that's here as well. We've got some really cool live studio audience members here. Are you ready to see some science? If you have any questions, yell them out or write them in the chat. I have a question.
Please.
When did you get so excited about science?
When I was probably about this age over here, I reckon I would have been 8 or 9. I was doing experiments at home and watching other people do experiments on telly and decided that's what I wanted to do for a job. So I get to do it now, all over Australia.
Very cool. And how about you? When did you start sciencing?
Well, I love science, but I'm also a lexicographer, which is somebody who creates dictionaries. So I love words. So when I was really little, I started writing stories and reading lots and lots of books. So I fell in love with words.
Very, very cool. Now, we're going to do some science experiments. I'm very excited to see what we've got in store.
Absolutely.
And all the questions that you want to type into the chat box, send them on through. But we're also going to play a game.
Oh, okay.
Everybody, we're playing a game.
I'm ready.
Everybody in the studio audience and everybody watching at home, you get to vote for what you think is going to happen in our first science experiment. Do you think it's going to explode? Do you think it's going to make a cloud? Or do you think it's going to make a song? What do you all think here? Do you think we're going to make something explode first? Do you reckon we'll make a cloud?
We're definitely doing all three of those things. We're definitely going to be making some explosions. We're definitely going to be making things what's the second one? Clouds.
Clouds.
We'll make some clouds.
And making things sing.
We're also going to make a lot of noise. Yes.
Well, you know what? Should we dive in?
Absolutely.
Should we start with the science?
Let's do it. Awesome.
Let's do it. All right.
We shall get started. So you would have seen just up behind us here, there's a whole lot of letters. So for each of these letters, Lexi has a word, which is going to inspire me to do some science. So should we get started?
Let's get started. Okay, so can everyone see that C is our first letter today up here, okay? And C today stands for Corybantic, which means wildly excited, frenzied.
And a little frenzied is exactly what you need to be to get the best notes out of this bit of old pipe. Well, it may look like a bit of old pipe.
It is a bit of old pipe.
It's actually something called a lasso d'amore.
Ooh, that is a very fancy name for a bit of old pipe, isn't it?
It's also known as a choreophone, hummer, the voice of the dragon, a bluegill resonator, but we most commonly call it a whirly tube.
Oh, let me get our professor to play it. Do you just whirl it around?
Correct. Now would be an excellent time to duck.
Oh, we got a duck.
Duck.
Oh, no, it's close.
Professor, that's really cool.
Isn't that awesome? So this is a whirly tube, and what's happening when I spin it around is air from this end gets dragged through to the other end. And as it gets dragged through, it starts to bounce and tumble over ridges in the tube, creating
a whole stack of vibrations. And it's vibrations that we need to create.
Sound.
Okay, now listen carefully. As I spin faster, more air is going to be dragged through the tube. Now, as more air gets dragged through more quickly, the vibrations will speed up. And listen carefully, is the sound getting higher or lower?
Higher.
Okay, let's see how frenzied. enough for you.
That was
I think it's going to go have a little light down.
How many times later because we need to keep going?
So, we've got letter Q.
So the letter Q, perhaps the fanciest of all the letters, is often followed by a U, and then a seemingly random collection of jumbled consonants and vowels that are, in point of fact, quite frequently a majestic pathway for many a quirk-tacular word.
Such as?
Quizquillion, quomoda-comprise, quadrupedicate, quadragantesimal, and quadrilodative.
It just sounds like word salad.
Big words. So today our word is quick-quidlibit, which means anything somebody wants, anything whatsoever.
Perfect. Time whatever I. Wow.
Professor?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So this this is a solid aluminium rod. On my fingers is a sticky substance called rosin. Now, as I drag my fingers across the rod, I will stick and then slide. Stick and slide, stick and slide, stick and slide. As they stick and slide, we'll start the rod shaking. We'll start it vibrating. And it's vibrations that we need to create.
That is a lot, Professor.
I know, right?
Okay, so while that short screen is positively quaking for a few moments, I'm going to find it mildly questionable.
Sorry, what?
Next letter.
What have we got? What have we got? Q, G.
G, okay. G is good golly gosh. And Zooks, do we have a gorgeously gooey and voluptuous G word for you? G is for gumphiate, which means.
Oh, hang on, before you get to your definition, do you like playing games?
I love games.
How about you guys? Do you like playing games?
Do you like playing games?
Yes.
I like playing games. I love playing games.
That's going to make this so much more easy. So I'm just going to pull that over here. We have 3 cups. And into one of those cups, I am going to pour a little water. Your job, very simply, is to keep track of where that water is. Remember, the water starts here. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes!
Excellent. Here we go. So, watching to see where the water is at all times.
And keeping up, this is so cute.
So, where's the water? Is it this cup here? No. Is it this cup here? No. Is it this cup here? Gosh, you guys are
Says the
excellent. The third one. Here we go.
Okay.
So you guys are obviously very, very good at this, which means I'm going to need to make it a little bit harder. How can we do that?
Go faster.
Perfect. Okay, remember, the water starts here. Are you ready? Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Don't spill it.
I'm trying not to spill it. Excellent. Where's the water? Is it this cup? Is it this cup? Is it this cup? Gosh, you guys are excellent. I'm going to need to make it even harder. How can I do that?
Even faster.
Perfect. Remember, the water starts here. Are you ready? Yes. Here we go. I moved so fast that time, you didn't even see me move, did you? So, where's the water? Is it this cup here? No, I should probably test that out. We're all good scientists here today, so how can I? Oh, I know.
That was so close.
Definitely not in that cup.
I have a shield.
Is it in this cup here? No, but we should probably test that theory out, shouldn't we? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Definitely not that cup. Which means it's absolutely 100% in this cup here. So yeah, we should probably test that theory out though, shouldn't we? Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Where did it go? Where did it go?
Oh, what is this stuff? It looks like snot.
Hey, it's not snot. It's a super absorbent polymer. So this stuff can soak up to 300 times its own weight in water. So we use this stuff wherever we want to hold in water. Like we use it in nappies to hold in water. Potting soil to hold in water so it doesn't evaporate so quickly. Frog tape, as well as motionless water beds.
Oh, I have so many questions, Professor, but we probably should keep moving to our next letter.
Probably.
Yeah, let's
Keep
do
moving.
it.
What have we got next? Z!
Okay, so Z is for zephyr, which is a poetic term for a soft, gentle breeze. So there are lots of words that we can use to describe wind. So first we have current, draft, gale, gust, mistral, squall, and tempest. But zephyr would have to be my absolute favourite.
Competition time. In just a few moments, I would like you to use a zephyr or two from your lungs to blow up that bag. But as quick as you possibly can, because I will be racing you. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Go, 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 go. That's it. What? Let's see. What are you doing there? Because I know a bit of science that you don't know yet.
Tell me.
So, when you blew up your bag, you held your lips up really close to the bag and just used air from your lungs. However, when I blew up my bag, I held my head back a little bit. Now, when air moves quickly, it drops to a lower pressure compared to the air around it. So air around it rushes towards that low pressure and gets swept up into the bag.
Okay, so you use air from your lungs as well as the room around them.
Correct. And now the real fun begins.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner!
Next letter.
Okay.
What have we got next?
Our next letter is S. So, S indeed, that's right. So, S, there are so many words that just start with S that sound simply disgusting. Professor, do you know the kind that can end up on an internet listicle?
Internet.
Listicle or listicle, an article consisting of content shown as a list. You know the kind. 14 cats that look like Taylor Swift.
26 holiday destinations that'll give you diarrhea.
And 42 of the grossest sounding words in the English language, like mucus, nubbin,
Gross.
crevice, yeast, pustule, seepage, congeal, and my favorite, moist. So gross. But today's S word is spumescence, which it sounds pretty gross and disgusting, right? But it actually means having the appearance of froth or foam.
Time for a bit of frothy, foamy fun. Now, this is going to get a little bit messy, which is why Lexi's putting up our umbrella there so we don't damage the roof here.
I flip upside down.
So-
Flip it down.
Oh
my goodness.
Quick,
Okay.
we're getting messy.
I'm hiding behind my cake.
So-
If you have a cake, use it.
Inside these little canisters here, we have a couple of different things. One of those things, very simply, is water. But we also have an Alka-Seltzer tablet. Alka-Seltzer tablets are a couple of different chemicals. Chemicals is something called citric acid. But we also have chemicals called sodium bicarbonate. These are reacting and making a gas called carbon dioxide, which builds up inside the little canisters until the canisters start jumping off the top, leaving a whole stack of froth and foam behind.
A whole stack of spumescence. How lovely.
I think I better clean up after that.
Okay, here we go.
Now, I think you had some questions for us while we set up the next couple of
Yes,
things.
this
Are you okay there?
this is amazing. Professor, the science, the studio is so cool and goofy. We have some people watching from home. A big shout out to Unicorn. Hello, Unicorn. Unicorn says, whoa! And Frankie says, rainbow, love heart. But anybody from the live audience, does anybody have any cool questions for our professors?
Any questions at all about anything at all?
I can start us off. What is your favorite science experiment of all time?
It's coming up very soon. My absolutely favorite thing is what we're going to do last. So it's very hard to talk about that because I'll give the surprise.
We don't want to give it away. We don't want to give it away.
So we've got 5 more experiments, and number 5 is my favorite time.
Do you have any questions watching? Okay, big shout out if you thought that was really cool.
That's going up.
Frankie is giving us a massive thumbs up, professors. That was fantastic. Now, we're from out of space and we ride a red rocket ship down to planet Earth. Have you ever built a rocket ship before?
We do sometimes have rockets in the show, so we just didn't bring our rockets in today.
Wow.
So,
But Professor Noel teaches us in our show about how rockets work.
yeah, rocket science. So for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
Which
So we
is Sir Isaac Newton's third law of motion.
get, well done.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes, and he also knew that you filled it with giggles and farts to power the rocket. It makes the most sense.
Absolutely.
Most sense. Well, if any questions come up through the next bit, have a think of them and you can have an opportunity to ask right at the end. What do you think, professors? Can we see those awesome 5 experiments?
Should we do the last 5?
Okay, let's do
Okay,
it.
fine. Okay, excellent.
Cool.
Also, if you're watching from home, or watching here as well, of course, each of our letters up here is covered in something that starts with that letter. So if you get bored with the science, then you can have a look at those and see if you can work out what they are. So C is for, can anyone work out what C is covered? What is it? Perfect,
Very
excellent. So C is for cardboard.
Well, my favourite is S. We just did S. Can anyone think what our S might stand for?
Yes.
It's okay.
Oh, we've gone very shy.
That's okay.
That's
No,
okay.
Is it a colour, perhaps, or a material?
Silver!
Silver!
Sparkly silver.
Sparkly, shiny.
Sparkly, shiny, silver sequins.
So, I think we've got B, isn't it?
Let's do it. Okay. So for the letter B, we have
Letter B. Letter B.
Letter
Letter
B. Letter B.
for the letter B, we have a beautifully bewitching and beguiling word, brumous, which means foggy, misty, wintry.
Oh, I tried to catch some fog the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I missed. Fog, missed, get it?
I love it.
Sorry, seriously, I was interviewing some scientists recently about some of the trickier aspects of fog physics.
Yeah.
There's still a lot that mystifies them.
Oh, Professor, you are incorrigible and rapidly approaching your dad joke quota. Okay.
What's green and difficult to see through?
No, stop. Brumous.
Okay, fine. How about we create a winter wonderland
Oh, let's do it. Okay.
in a bottle?
You kind of be a little bit like a snow globe.
A little bit, not quite, more a fog bottle. Okay, so what I'm going to do is squash a whole stack. Yeah, you can hold on to that
Yeah.
for us just at the end there. Brilliant. I'm going to squash a whole stack of air into this bottle. And in just a moment, I'm going to pull out the cork. And I need you guys to watch the bottle very carefully. The contents is about to change in some way. So here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Oh!
Professor, that is awesome. Okay, what is going on scientifically speaking?
Oh, I have it the foggiest. Fog, get it? Anyway, moving on. So our fog is made up of a whole stack of itty-bitty liquid droplets of something called isopropyl alcohol or rubbing alcohol. So when I add pressure by adding more air in, we also add heat. As a result, those little liquid droplets will evaporate, forming an invisible vapor. But when we pull out the cork, everything reverses. The pressure drops, the temperature drops, and that invisible vapor condenses to form itty-bitty liquid droplets.
Fog in a bottle.
So, what's green and difficult to see through? Ow! You guys want to know, don't you? What's green and difficult to see through? Don't say farts. It is Kermit the Fog.
We're going to move to our next letter.
Do you like a good dad What do we got next, Professor? Liquid nitrogen.
That is the really cold stuff, right?
It's gonna be cool.
Really cold.
So cool. This is gonna be cool.
It's
Literally.
so
So cool. So this is one of my favorite things in the world. We're going to be very, very careful with it. Wesley, you need your umbrella in
Yes,
both our moments.
please.
But I would like to pour some of this liquid nitrogen out so that we can see it. So some cold things. Your fridge should be set to around 4 degrees Celsius. Your freezer should be set to around -16, -17 degrees Celsius. The coldest temperature ever recorded on planet Earth was a very chilly -98 degrees Celsius at the Earth's surface. This stuff is even colder than that.
Wow.
Professor, it's bubbling. It looks like it's boiling.
That's because it is boiling. So different liquids boil at different temperatures. So water boils at
100 degrees.
Yeah.
Celsius.
This stuff boils at -195.79 degrees Celsius. Very, very cold. So put your umbrella up because I'm about to pour this into a little tin can. So we're going to pour this in, put the lid on. It will make a loud sound in just a moment. And that's why we're putting up our umbrella over the top here. Safety umbrella. Make sure we catch our lid and don't hit the roof. So, tin lid on.
Okay.
I might be able to do that one more time. There we go. Lid on.
Okay, Professor, so it didn't stay on tray or closed for very long, did it?
Absolutely not. So when liquids boil and turn into a gas, they take up more space. So when liquid nitrogen boils and turns into a gas, it takes up about 700 times as much space. Now, we are going to move on with a couple of other liquid nitrogen experiments. But if I just put my towel here, I can click that.
Whoa! It's everywhere on the floor. That's so cool.
Very, very cool. Excellent. So what have we got next? So we've got E. E. Excellent.
Excuse my imperfect prose, but I am earnestly elated to extol the excellent virtues of today's exemplary E word. So, with great exigency, I'll enunciate this one clearly so as to exaggerate its eccentricities.
Sometimes I feel like I need an advanced English degree to understand even half of the words that fall out of your face.
Well, I'm sorry to exasperate you, Professor. I'd like to say that I'll eschew such erudite utterances in the future, but...
Enough. Our E word for today is...
Erumpent.
Sounds like a fancy way of describing a magnificent fart.
Well, it does mean to burst out or to burst forth.
The dog farted erumpently.
Oh, that's so silly.
Also, do we have any Harry Potter fans? Yes! Okay, brilliant. Yes, wonderful. Okay, so as you might know, in the wizarding world, an erumpent is an enormous magical beast, kind of a little bit like a rhinoceros.
Also, as the mycology fans amongst you would know, the word erumpent is often used to describe the process whereby the fruiting bodies of a fungus push through a surface to form a projecting mass.
Wow.
Okay, cool story, Professor. Let's explode something.
Here we go. So what I'm going to do is pour liquid nitrogen into our bottle. Did I have a funnel around here? I couldn't find the funnel a second ago, so I'll just do that very carefully.
This is so cool.
So very carefully, I'm going to pour this liquid nitrogen into the top here. It will instantly start boiling, turning from a liquid into a gas. And as it turns from a liquid into a gas, it is starting to erupt out the top of our little bottle there.
It's erupting erumpently.
Exactly.
There it is.
And as it erumpently erupts, I think that will be enough for us now. I'm going to catch that nitrogen gas in a balloon. Now, eventually that balloon is going to burst open. It's going to be very, very loud. We're going to cool down some water vapor that's in the air, creating a whole stack of itty-bitty liquid droplets.
And a cloud, right,
Perfect.
Professor? A cloud.
Excellent.
We're going to make a cloud
Inside.
Oh, yeah.
So,
That's so exciting.
fingers in your ears. Everybody step back a little bit would be great.
Yeah.
And I shall aim this over
Because
here.
it is
Fingers
time.
and ears, fingers and ears, here we go. Fingers and ears, and some more.
This is gonna be so cool.
It's still going.
Still going.
Very rampant, Professor. Well done.
Very rampant. Woohoo! Excellent. So that was our letter E. What are we moving on to next?
Next we have R. So R today is for
R. Sorry.
R. You done, Professor? Great. So R is for reviviscence, which means the act of reviving something. So that is to bring something back to life in some way to make it flourish again. Okay. So Professor, what's our plan?
Well, I thought we could revive you.
Me, but I'm not exactly need a reviving, Professor.
We're going to need to dip you in some liquid nitrogen
Uh-oh.
first.
No way.
Yeah.
Is this supposed to be me, Professor?
Yep.
It's like looking in a mirror.
Let's see if you'd like to put your head into the bowl for me, please. Brilliant. And Lexi's head is filled with air, as well as brains. A whole
Yes.
So
stack
many
of
brains,
brains.
yes.
Yeah.
But that air is in constant motion, colliding with itself as well as the sides of the balloon. So what I'm going to do is pour some liquid nitrogen over the top here. So just watch your toes on the bottom. That'd be fine if it touches your shoes, but don't touch it with your fingers if you're here with us in the room. So here we go. Let's pour some liquid nitrogen over the top. And Lexi's head will start to shrink. The air inside. So the air inside there is colliding with itself as well as the sides of the balloon. But as we cool it down, it will take up less and less space. And as a result, Lexi's head will start to contract.
I'm looking a little deflated there, Professor.
Yes, you are indeed. It is time to revive him with just a few breaths of warm air.
The balloon is changing. Reviviscence, the act of reviving something. Thank you, Professor. I'm feeling better already. Okay, should we move on to our next letter, Professor?
I think we should move on next.
Hey, yo.
Yes, let's see.
I think that the letter N means that we're almost at the end of our time.
Oh no, we've got one last little thing to do.
One last.
That last little thing to do was my
It's your
favorite.
favorite.
It's Noel's favorite experiment.
So, N is for nephelococcygia, which means the act of seeking and finding shapes in clouds, which would make a pretty neat finale, don't you think?
I'm all over it. In just a moment, we are going to pour a whole stack of boiling hot water into a whole stack of boiling liquid nitrogen.
Okay, right. So boiling water, that's 100 degrees Celsius, right? And earlier, Noel taught us that liquid nitrogen boils at minus 195.79 degrees Celsius, which yes,
Very
is
cold.
very cold. So together, that is a temperature difference of almost 300 degrees.
I know. Exciting,
Oh,
right?
goodness.
So, what I'm going to do is pour that boiling hot water into the boiling liquid nitrogen. Very quickly, we're going to make some very moist air in here. And we're going to use our liquid nitrogen to cool down that moisture in the air and hopefully create a cloud that's going to hit the roof. So I'm going to be very, very careful doing this with our nephelococcygia. I might get you guys to move around a little bit. Going to put my towel
Gonna be so
down there.
I'm so
Very,
excited.
very cool indeed.
Oh,
So,
everyone's down.
Yes.
liquid nitrogen. Is that
No,
ready to go? Professor Alexis Con, we're going to need a countdown in just a moment.
Okay,
My
you let me
boy-
know.
Oh, boiling hot water's here. Brilliant.
Let me know
Excellent.
when you're ready.
So I'll let you know when we're ready to go. But hopefully you've enjoyed our little experiment and our words here. So time for a big finale. Can we have a countdown,
Can you guys
please?
help me
Let's see.
count down? We're going to go from 10. Is that okay with everyone? All right, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice work, Professor.
Did we hit the roof? Did we hit the roof?
We did.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Can we all give Professor Knowledge and Lexicon a big round of applause? You are absolute geniuses. We've loved watching all of your experiments today. That was so much fun. And all of the viewers watching at home as well were sending in heaps of emojis. They were loving it too. Big shout out to Unicorn and Frankie and everybody in Adelaide who's been watching too. So much fun. Now, before we go, is there any final questions anybody has for the scientists?
We're just sitting there in awe.
My question is there a school where you can go to be as cool as you? Because I would love to learn all of these experiments. That's so cool.
Both of us have been to university, so I've got a science degree and professorships and all of this study that we have to do. But you can do lots of science at home. There's heaps of things that you can do at home, lots of fun things. We've got some stuff on our website. There's lots of different books you can read to find out about all sorts of fun science. And of course,
And words.
dictionaries are everywhere.
Yeah.
So all these fabulous words you find.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Make sure you jump onto our website because there's heaps of videos and fun like activity sheets and things like that you can do as
All our
well.
words.
What's it called? What's the website?
Alphabetscience.com.
Alphabetscience.com. Alphabetscience.com. Well, thank you so much for joining us live in a Starlight Express room. And to all of our viewers at home, that's all the time we have for science experiments today. But don't forget, coming up this Thursday, we're going to have another fun live stream with Jane Bunn. You have to check that one out. That's going to be so fun. A little bit of a weather report coming your way. Until then, thank you all so much for joining us. If you're watching online, we have the Lunar Lounge coming up next. Thank you so much, professors.
Thank you, Captain.
Thank you so much
Thank you
for
for
having
having
us.
Bye, everybody. Bye.